it's Shahara. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm gonna be talking about Isaac Henderson from Heartstopper. So I don't. So Heartstopper is not the kind of thing I usually watch. It's very outside of what I normally like. But every so often it's nice to watch some queer characters all happy and in love rather than so much pain and tragedy. Because we need more of that. And I like it. I never read the graphic novels because, like I said, it's not what I usually watch, and it's very not what I usually read. Like, at least what I watch is more. I watch more things than I read. When I read, it is almost strictly fantasy. So yeah. But I watched season one a while back, and quite a while back. It wasn't when it first aired, I don't think, but it was like maybe a few months later. I don't know. But I got curious. I was like, heck, why not? I was bored, had nothing else to do. I was like, I'll just give it a try. But I enjoyed it. And Isaac didn't have much of a storyline in season one. He was always just kind of there, would say something here and there, but always was reading. And I was like, I like his vibe because because I Isaac is me. Okay, he always book in hand and AroAce. That is my entire personality. But season two, he did get a. I didn't know that before season two. I knew that he was AroAce because, um, I heard people talking about how he was AroAce in comics or graphic novels or whatever they were, and but season two they gave him an AroAce storyline. I was not expecting that. I figured in the graphic novels he already knew that he was or something. I don't know. I don't like I said, I never read it, so I don't exactly know what goes on in the graphic novels. But I do know that he's AroAce, and in season two they give him an AroAce storyline, which I love. He started getting close to this one guy, and this one guy had a crush on him, but um and he was like confused, I think, because he liked spending time with him and he had a lot of fun with him. And he was like, he even asked at one point Charlie if this was like, how did Charlie feel when he realized he was crushing on Nick and stuff. He wanted to see if he had a crush, but then when they kissed and he didn't feel anything, he was like, and there was even one thing where he was like, um what did he say? He was like, uh I don't remember his exact wording, but he basically said like, I think he says there's something wrong with me, and because he never had like there's even this one thing where they had to do like this truth or dare thing game, and they asked him his celebrity crush, and he said he never really had one, and it's like he because he just never really thought about crushes and feelings and romance and sex and stuff. I'm like same. I mean, more so the sex part because I am AroAce, but I'm an AroAce lesbian. If you're not new to my channel, I think I've explained this before, but basically on the asexual spectrum, I'm on the part of sex repulsed. I do not like sex, at least not for myself. You guys have fun, but me, it's just not for me. Just the mere thought grosses me out. Um, and then on the arrow side, I do have romantic feelings. They're very small, and the feelings I do have are for women. So I may fall in love, I may not. It depends if it ever happens. Um, but I really liked how they dealt with the storyline, how they went through him thinking he might have a crush just because he likes spending time with this person, and then um, him and the kiss, and it's not what he thought it was supposed to be. And then they all went to this art exhibit because Al, who's trans, went had art being shown, and they all of her friends went there to support her. And he was looking at this art piece, and the artist was talking to him, and he was explaining that it's his experience being aromantic and asexual, and and he explained it what it is because there's still a lot of people that don't know what it um what it is. So he explained it, and then you can just tell by Isaac's face, that's like something clicked in his mind. Like you can tell that's what you know. And I know earlier in the show, he was when he was hanging out with the guy that had a crush on him. They were setting up this Pride stand of Pride books, and at the very top, it said there was a book about asexuality, which is a book I've actually heard of before. I've never read it, but I've heard of it. It's called Ace, and then after this, he picks that book up and starts reading it, and you see him reading it, and I really like that because he's finally like realizing that he might be asexual and aromantic, and that he's figuring it out. He hasn't yet told his friends, which it left off at the show left off at a cliffhanger. So there may be a season 3, and if there is, then um he might tell them. But I really like that he didn't tell anyone yet. Like it was about him. His storyline was about him discovering it, him figuring out that this might be what he is, who he is, and him slowly coming to terms with it, having a name to call what he is, because that's very important. Like it can be very hard because I know when my sister first said I might be asexual and told me what it was, it's like something clicked. It's like this makes so much sense, like so much. Like I mean, I figured I was asexual before I was aromantic because I knew I liked girls. I knew that, so it's like I couldn't be aromantic. But more I studied it, I was like I could still be a lesbian and aromantic. But with the asexuality part, like I said, I figured that out first because the idea of sex, whether no, even if it was with a girl, just grossed me out. Like no, I don't want that. Like the mere thought, good. Um, and it's like you can see that click in Isaac as well during that scene, and I really like that. I just felt like his entire AroAce storyline was really well done, and they didn't try to rush it. Like, oh yeah, you're AroAce. They gave him like this love interest who he was going to he really liked to hang out with. So he started wondering, maybe I have a crush, maybe I like him romantically, but um, he realized that he liked hanging out with this guy, but he didn't like him like that. And so, um, and then he saw something was wrong with him because he never had a celebrity crush, because he never thought about romance or sex. Like he was always just living life, reading, and I'm like, same. Like I've always just been a huge reader and writer, so like I get it. Like I told you, Isaac is me. Like always book in hand, AroAce. Like we're one and the same. But and then he had like I said, he talked to that one guy, and it's like something clicked. And I really like that cause I didn't know that book existed when I figured out my asexuality. So I just looked it up and did like a whole bunch of research to see if this was what I was, and it was. And it just felt better knowing that it's like I'm not alone. This is actually this is actually sexuality. Like there's actually a group of people somewhere in the world that just don't have a sex drive, that just don't go after sex, even if you do are asexual and you like sex, because those asexuals exist. I can't speak. Even if you um, like sex or feel indifferent toward it or hate sex, you're still asexual. It's just about not having those attractions, not being attracted to sex like some people. And um, so I felt like his storyline throughout the entire season 2 was just really well done. And like I said, I do like that it didn't actually show him like tell his friends. Like they didn't try to be like give his storyline like move it way too fast and then have him figure it out and then tell his friends and then accept it. Like he's still on the accepting journey, but he's figuring it out. And I just really like that because it can take a while to accept something like that, to accept that you're part of the minority of people who don't like sex, because it can be hard. And I really like that that he's still by the end of season 2, he's still figuring out. He's still like, this is what I might be, so I'm doing some research about it to figure out who I am. And since he's still figuring it out, he hasn't told anyone yet. And I really like that. I just thought his entire storyline was really well done. So yeah, that is all. I just want to talk about Isaac's storyline and why we finally have some good AroAce representation, because we are desperately needed, and representation is very good, very important. So yeah, I might talk about Isaac some more. We shall see. But thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment how you felt about his AroAce storyline in season 2 of Heartstopper, and I will talk to you guys next time.